Hello. So today I'm going to speak about life, about Earth, and a connection with the Earth and life through our body as a vehicle, as a chariot. I'm actually standing in front of this tree, this big, beautiful, magnificent tree, hoping that the viewer of this video may be able to connect with what I'm saying as also related to the tree of life itself. Because there's a very profound connection between life, the body we have, the earth we are on, and the tree of life. I happened to go out today. I was in a restaurant having a meal, and I happened to speak to this person. He's from the Christian faith, and he's told me that it has been said that the earth is going to burn not too far, yeah, and on the last day, those who are going to be saved by the Divine Mother will then move to another realm, a newer realm of existence. When I listened to that, I thought, what he's saying, he's quoting that it's there in the Bible and it's been said by people from his community. And when I listened to that, I thought, it sounds very similar to the work that I do. Now, how? In the work that I do, I relate to the body as earth. Now, if you consider the adage that each of us, life, is a microcosm that is a reflection of the macrocosm, which is the universe, multiverse, yeah? That if you've heard religious texts, they also say that man or human beings are made in the reflection of God. Yeah. In the work that I do, there's a particular process by which the everyday mundane, everydayness, which may not have been looked into, and hence maybe in whatsoever state of health or well-being it is now looked in a gentle, kind, mindful way, in a kind of a meditative way, by which that which is gross and has probably never been looked into now goes through a process of refinement. And in the process, there comes about an ennoblement of the soul. That is, there is a refinement of our thinking, our emotions, our ways of being, the baggages by what I mean by that is our experiences of living, which may have accumulated in our body, mind, emotion, spirit, intellect in many ways, now goes through a process of refinement. And in the process of refinement, the jewels, the precious, wise lessons of life, the gift that each experience has always had to offer, because we went through those experiences, now is in the process of refinement is no longer an impediment, but actually is a gift by which, because we have these experiences, now we have something as a gift of these experiences. We have their lessons to now have this be present in our everyday moments of living, and by which we can create beautiful things. And together with these gifts and our experiences and our ability to be in the present and in sync with the universe, we bring gifts that is beneficial not only to our lives but also to people around us, to life itself, and to universe, and to future generations. Now, this becomes possible in the work that I do. I was just reading through. I was just thinking along the lines since when I spoke to this person in the morning, and there is this word called Merkaba, and this is a beautiful concept and idea. Let me just read of it from from the internet, yeah, what they talk about it, because it's very, very close to, has very applicable reference in the work that I do. See if you can connect with it. 1 minute. Okay, so I'll read the text about Merkaba, what is being said. The word Merkaba is actually composed of three separate words. Mer, which means light, Ka, which means spirit, and Ba, which means body. Put together, these three words connote the union of spirit with the body surrounded by light. The symbol, Merkaba, which takes the shape of a star, is believed to be a divine vehicle made entirely of light and designed to transport or connect the spirit and body to higher realms. Ancient Jewish texts reveal that the word is also the Hebrew for a chariot. Now, the Hindu texts refer to something called as a Vimana. Now, there are different connotations to what Vimana means, but in the work that I do, I refer to the body as a chariot, as a vehicle for transformation, for transmutation, to for refinement, to become better versions, for ennoblement. Yeah. So in that sense, this makes sense here. So let me read again. Ancient Jewish texts reveal that the word is also the Hebrew for a chariot. And the Bible reveals that the word Merkaba itself is found in the Old Testament a total of 44 times. Now, now to connect this word Merkaba with the work that I do, as the now and in reference to what the conversation I had with the person in the morning, that the earth will go through a burning, and when it comes to the last day, there is when the Divine Mother discerns that the uh, certain people are now well enough to subsist, will now move to uh, different realms or better realms. In the work that I do, I know for sure that I connect with the body, the tissue body that we have, as earth. And what I mean by that is, as we move through life, you know that our tissues, the cells, the blood and flesh, all of this is formed from the food we eat. From as we move through life, it's formed from earth, from the material that earth is. Yeah, and hence we can say that the body is our our earth. We This is the earth that we live in, a body. And the experience that we have, the different experiences that we go through in the course of living, is stored as tissue memory, muscle memory in this earth. And, and every living organism is made up of the five basic elements: earth, water, air, fire, spirit, space. And in the work that I do, like I've said before, there is, during the session, there it's through the particular process that my work entails, the fire element, which is already present in our bodies, kind of comes to a mindful substance, into mindful kind of a fire. Yeah, I call that form of swaha. It's a more subtler, sacreder form of fire. And in that fire, the material that is our earth, that is the tissue body, the emotions, whatever has been our residues of good and bad, moves through a process of, you know, mindful examination, but it's also kind of a cooking in the fire that is already there in the body. And in the process, there is an ennoblement of the emotion, body, intellect, spirit. And when the process is coming to the end, which is like saying, like the last day, when Earth goes through fire, and when it comes to the last day, when the process is almost completing there, there's a certain coming together of different elements, and there's a refined as a process, a consequence of this, what I would say as a cooking. There is a refinement that comes about, and then from there, consequently, the also as a result of the ennoblement, there is a different experience of who you are, where you are, and what you are now here um, in this place called Earth for, and how you show up, um, and who you how you then behave, how you then interact with life. I have noticed for sure that after sessions, um, there's a certain light in the eye, a certain quality about the smile, the entire countenance of a person's face, at least for sure. There's a certain lightness and a certain expansiveness about how they show up, which is for me instant gratification. For okay, now look, somebody came for a session, they went through this, and this is how I get to see that. So it's like for me, um, my gift from by those people of me being there as a witness to okay, now this is what happened, this is what came about from the person going through the process. Whereas for them, and then over a period of time, I notice how these people move through, interact with life. There's a certain beauty about their consciousness. How mindfulness is the more harder word if you in comparison with what I notice how people show up. And there's a certain certainly it's more than conscientiousness. it, there's a refinement of conscience, of how they interact with people, and what they create in life. There's certainly a certain humaneness, um, but that's what I get to see from the work that I do. I know I observe people in these different ways how they show up, and the people who go through the sessions themselves, how they live their life, how they move about, what they create, is very beautiful to look at. Um, they're not just people; they are they're like a force of life. It's like they now have a more refined, defined purpose for being in existence, and then they just go about fulfilling that. It's like all the best that they have had, they sort of come together, and then they start creating better bests from that. So it's really beautiful. So that's what becomes possible from the work that I do. um, this person was talking about the earth going through fire. I i don't know about that, but I know for sure that this earth, a human body earth, certainly when it goes through this fire during the process of the sessions, becomes something very beautiful and refined. And consequently, they become the gift of life, a blessing on the planet. And um, and when I'm saying this, I'm also aware that the work that I do is also a consequence of the kindness that I have received over a period of time, over however many years I've lived now, many ways, and which, because of having received the kindness, that I chose to now, okay, I've received all of this, to put all of this kindness together and make something better, and then to return um, something better ongoingly to people around me, to life, and for future generations. Now, this becomes possible because of the ongoing faith in good, in the divine, in life, and a faith that there is a better, because of which, in one way or the other, somebody or the other has been contributing, has been being kind, gentle, gracious, generous with me, because of which one way or the other, this work has come to be. Um, so I'm thankful for to anybody and everybody who's been having the faith, who may not have known that something like this could become possible. I did not know until I started seeing what is becoming possible for people who go through the sessions, that something like this is possible, and from which I'm just back referencing to the different words that other people have used referring to this. Merkaba is a word that has been around, but I did not quite connect with it until I happened to read the word, and then I thought, oh, this the work that I'm doing is also what they're talking about here. So through this video, I'm attempting to reach out to the world, to people on earth, that this work has one way or the other come to be in existence, is available. This has been there for a few years now. I did not, since the work is largely experiential, I did not have the words with which to explain what is happening in the work, what is what is happening during the sessions, or to even speak about what becomes possible. I still cannot mention names of who have come for sessions or any of that, because these are very confidential things. We are working with life. There are, and it's sacred. It is not something. It's like a like when you go to the hospital, your medical records are sacrosanct. It's not something that anybody and everybody can look into, even the names or what they went through. So similarly, my work is sacrosanct um, in its content, in its in its scope. But I have written about the benefits on my website, and I'm also looking at finding ways by which to, without identifying any person or any person's life, to say what becomes possible as a pattern that I've observed over the years about what becomes possible and how the work comes about. So I'm working on it. There are some things that I've been able to put on the website. So in all of this that I've said here, if any of this makes sense to you, if any of this connects with you and you would like to experience what may become possible for you in your life through this, contact me, um, leave a comment below, or I leave my phone number so that you may contact me, or you may contact me through the website. And it's a small world. You can reach me. You can find a way to reach me. Yeah. Um, and then I invite you to experience this work and see what becomes possible for you, your life, and for future generations to come. The best is in the making. The best is yet to be. Um, and all of that becomes possible from what is available right now, in how soon you're able to make grab the opportunity and become and make use of what is there right now, and becoming the best version of you. Because that is also what the work that I do through meristem intelligence, through maintenance therapy, which is the work that I do, um, as a therapeutic offering of my work. This is what becomes possible. People become the better version, finer, refined versions of themselves. And through Nirbeeja yoga, which is my off therapy table work, which is an inquiry which I found that while other people are going through their therapy sessions, I've also needed to become finer versions of myself, so that I'm providing upgraded value. Yeah. So that I'm getting refined and the work that I do is also refined. So the work that I did with myself, I noticed that that is also refining me, and that while I'm providing therapeutic work for people on the therapy table, that is not quite the same thing that I'm doing when I'm working with myself. And hence, I notice that this is also a way by which you're constantly refining yourself and becoming better versions. I'm becoming better versions of myself. And hence, this self inquiry is what is coming about as what I'm calling as Nirbeeja Yoga. So, here, I have all of this available right now. I'm also developing another program called Soul Satisfaction, Little by little, I'm just upgrading, informing people slowly. I'm not really from a marketing background, but just learning things on how to let people know so that people are aware of such a work is available. So, thank you for your patience. Thank you.